A ghost story. Hello, guys. First of all, I have to say that the events of this story are being told from the victim's perspective. I was 10 years at the time, a time with no smartphones and internet was only accessible in libraries or school, at least for kids like me. My pals and I used to play in the park. Curiously, the park was next to a cemetery. From an outsider's perspective, that would be weird, scary even. But for people born and raised here was nothing to be concerned. My grandmother always reminds me about something that happened a year ago. She always tells me one day a big wedding happened. Some rich guy married a beautiful woman. I remember clearly when it happened because the next day something horrific happened. That same couple was being buried. Where, you might guess? The same cemetery next to our park. People cried and gave their respect to the dead, then left. Everything happened so soon, and now it's as if it never happened. One night, my pals and I made plans to get together and pass the night at one of my friend's house. His parents rent a building, so he has plenty of room for five more kids. We had soda, marshmallow, chips, and tons of magazines. Before we went to sleep, we decided to tell scary stories. We should have gone to sleep immediately because after that night, it's just too horrific to bear. Anyway, my friend began to say, "Hey guys, turn off the lights." The lights went off and he grabbed a flashlight. Remember the huge wedding from a year ago? I know what happened. My mom told me. As you know, my dad is a cop and he was part of the investigation. Apparently, the new couple had a fight right after the ceremony. The new bride discovered the groom having an affair with her sister. She went crazy, so the same night of the wedding, she grabbed an axe, went to the room where her sister was sleeping. That's when she found her sister sleeping with her husband. She grabbed her axe and killed them both. In the morning, cops arrived. They found the bride still wearing her wedding dress, traces of blood all over it, and a bloody axe on the side. She was just sitting on a rocking chair, humming. "Hmm, hmm, 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 hmm." When the cops approached to put handcuffs, she quickly ran toward the window and jumped from a fourth floor. She died in the impact. They buried her next to her husband and sister. Every night at midnight, the ghost of the bridegroom ascends from hell to roam the cemetery, and then the bride comes back from the dead, killing her husband over and over in a cycle. And after that, she's looking for her next victim. There is no way that's true, I said. All honesty, I think everybody in the room was a bit horrified by this story. Maybe the ghost part wasn't real, but what's true is that there were three stone graves, a newly couple and the bride's sister buried the same day. One of the kids said, "Hey guys, I have an idea. Why don't we go to the graveyard tonight? It's only about an hour before midnight. We will record everything." "That's a stupid idea," another kid said. "Oh, come on, guys. It will be fun. Nothing's gonna happen. It's six of us, and there is only one ghost. Our parents will find out, and when they do, they are gonna ground us. Nobody's gonna know. It's just the six of us, which means that we are the only ones who know. Your parents live on the second floor, right? They went to bed a long time ago. After all, they have early shifts, right?" After back and forth conversation, we decided on going. We all were scared, but no one dared to say it. Each one of us wanted to do something reckless, as teenagers usually are. 5 minutes to midnight, we arrived at the cemetery. It was abandoned as customary. For some reason, people who take care of this place at night end up disappearing. I understand working night shifts is horrible. Nevertheless, it's kinda unsettling that we are the only people in the cemetery. Alive, that is. "I think I found the couple," my friend said as he pointed at three stone graves in bad shape. "They look no different to the thousands of other graves here. We noticed that there is something written on one of the graves. It read, 'Here lies the remains of someone who went straight to.' I cannot read the rest. The grave is in too bad shape." "Okay guys, it's midnight." We all went quiet, waiting for something to happen. The six of us looked everywhere for some kind of sign, anything supernatural. But after 5 minutes, we began to feel braver and said to one another, "You see, guys, nothing happened. Nothing's gonna happen. Because all this bride's ghost is just BS. And all of you were so scared," one of our companions said. He was the oldest of our group by almost a year. He began making fun of the graves and even kicked at the one where the bride rests. I don't think that's a good idea," I said. "Don't tell me you are scared. You know, maybe I'm gonna piss on one of the graves," he said. "Oh, ghost bride, come out, wherever you are." In that moment, we all saw it, a translucent form, a woman dressed on a bride's dress. Only thing was, the dress was covered in blood, dirt, and worms. The ghost's bride manifested right behind the oldest of our group. She lifted her arms and cut off clean the head of our friend. We all ran for our lives. At this point, my heart was beating faster than ever before. I was running. All I could hear was the sound of the woman humming that hideous song. When we got home, we went to wake up my parents, At this point, getting grounded was the least of our worries. We told them that one of our friends went missing at the cemetery. They freaked out and called the police. They found our friend dead in the morning. His head was severed from his body. After that, none of my friends were the same. We became distant to one another. We required therapy, but as you know, sometimes therapy is just not enough. Not after what we saw. Doctors tried to convince us that there was no ghost, and I would have believed that except for the fact that I saw it. I saw how something formed behind my deceased friend. Never disrespect the dead, because you never know